welcome back to Tune to Life. We're so glad you're tuning in again. Thank you very much for those of you that are following us and religiously and keep supporting our channel. We thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And also, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. We're noticing that people are looking at it, but are not subscribing. So please subscribe. Now, it don't cost anything, out of the way. So the thing we want to talk about today is this new drug, this new wonder drug for some people, which is Mounjaro and Ozempic. Weight loss for some people, it'll be a long time coming, looking for their panacea to freedom, their way out of the way they feel trapped in their body and so on. But I have my views on this, as anything, and I think that there are some really interesting issues. I mean, look, there are a body of people that think, come on, just get out there, do some walking, exercise, eat healthily, and do the right thing. And there are other people who are saying, well, hold on, people need some help, blah, 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 blah. Where I sit, it's probably in a halfway house, personally, because I'm aware that some people have clinical issues or clinical problems. There's nothing is ever just clear cut. There are people that are going to need help because there are some organic or biological issues that they need to do with, and maybe some psychological stuff as well.
Definitely.
So I understand that. But however, there's a backdrop to this in terms of where are we going? Look at how we are as a people now to how things used to be. So we have to factor that in. That's what I want to sort of unpack today and talk about it in terms of what our perspectives, what my opinions are, or whatever they're worth. And there are just opinions at the end of the day, but taking into consideration the fact that some people need that help, some people have clinical organic issues, and some people just need to cut back on the food.
The habits.
And there are lots of things in with it. So let's look at sort of the idea of sort of people being overweight, right? And how things used to be. Back in the day, a long time ago, people used to get, you know, the piss taken out of them because they were overweight, and so on, which is wrong because it made them feel bad and psychological issues and the way that created as a result of that. For some people, it moved them towards
shame, wasn't it?
Something moved them towards doing something about it, and some people couldn't do anything about it because there was a clinical issue. But those taking the piss didn't recognize that or even understand it. So we're moving to a time now where the fat shaming is not good. And people understand that now, which is a good thing. However, as a result of that, there's always a pros and cons of everything. People seem to feel that some people feel that being the way they are is almost a lifestyle choice and lacking accountability. And that's the problem where we are. Accountability for maintaining good physical health. And it's easy to let it go. It's easy to let it go. You know, working hard, maybe got an injury, maybe lack of motivation, you know, eating more than you should do, because some people, when they get stressed or depressed, they will eat as a reaction to that, and poor self-esteem and all that sort of stuff. So it's easy to sort of put weight on and not recognize. And it's, as you get older as well, you put a bit of weight on, so you have to stay on top of it all the time, control of what's happening. For me, I you know, even just recently, I found myself putting a bit of weight. Like, what the hell's going on? So you have to discipline yourself and moderate what you're eating, taking a bit of exercise.
That's
so it happens to all of us.
Definitely.
Now, what I'm talking about is younger people between 18 and say maybe 40, 18, 35, whatever it is. And I suppose we have to be clear about what we're talking about. And we're not talking about people who have a clear organic issue, i.e. diabetes or some sort of issue where they are prone to weight gain. That we're not talking about, because those people need to be helped. So we're not talking about the people that need to be helped where this could save their lives. We're not talking about that, because that is important. That's necessary, it's important, I want to talk about that. We're talking about people who lack the self-discipline, who just love that little extra bread roll. Yeah, one won't hurt, one extra won't hurt, and then they put themselves in a position where their health now is at risk. Yeah, they can't move around, they can't get out of a chair properly, they can't do the things they used to enjoy, and it's a downward spiral. And it's how much of life that helps to precipitate that situation. Because people need to take account for it. People need to be, what do you call it again? People need to be accountable.
Okay.
They have to for their own health. They've got to be to a degree. You have to be. You can't be blaming everybody, everything for what you're doing. You know, and I think a large part of that happens now.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that.
You see?
Yeah.
Because let's get into this drugs. It's the wonder drugs.
Oh, okay.
The wonder drugs. So the two drugs that are being talked about right now is Ozempic and Mounjaro.
Yeah.
Mounjaro is the one that NHS are rolling out.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the big daddy.
Yeah. Now, let's really be clear about this. It won't be anybody you just run up to the GP saying, "Oh, I want this too because I don't feel great. I want to look better," and then she's going to give it to them. No, there's going to have to be criteria.
That's right.
To be able to get it because it's an expensive drug.
No, that's right.
It's about £100 to £200 a month, allegedly, for it, which is about £2,500, £3,000 a year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite expensive.
That's right.
And not everybody's going to be eligible for it. So that means that there's going to be a huge market for it, private prescriptions. Yeah. So getting online, whatever it is, however people choose to access it, there's going to be a huge market for it.
Yeah, I think I got some figures. I think they were talking about 1.5 million people on it already as we know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, exactly. Heavily kind of subscribed at the moment on a private, doing it private online.
Yeah. And, we have to put this in context because around about 26% of the UK adult population, that means 18 upwards, are classified as clinically obese.
It's like one in four.
Something like that.
That's
crazy.
I know. I was thinking to myself, wow. And I was just looking
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
So pharmaceuticals have been looking at that and going,
yeah, rubbing their hands.
Yeah, we can, that's a lot of people. So if 1 in 4 people, and I know, certainly within, sort of the African Caribbean community, being slightly larger is looked upon as something good or positive. And I've never seen it that way, personally, because of the health risk. I've never seen that way. And guys think, oh yeah, like a big girl. And girls, some women take it on like, yeah, it's a positive thing. And how can it be? Because the health risks, high risk of cancer, hypertension, blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. The list of health issues goes on. And a lot of people suffer with these things. And how can it be good? So, people need to take account for what they do, what they eat, and so on. They have to. And if they don't, well, it's a bit of a problem for them individually, you see. But we have to talk about the elephant in the room. We've got to talk about the elephant in the room. There's a huge elephant in the room, and that is the fact of the cost of living crisis. With things getting harder, the obesity is climbing up. And it's not rocket science. Because look, people say, oh, people need to eat healthily, so on, so on, so on. Yeah, it's okay. But if you're on low income, 1-parent household, and you're on minimum wage, what types of food do you have available? Now, I always hear this argument. Oh, you can eat healthily, you can cook this, you can do that. Look, you want to eat healthily. It's expensive. It's expensive. Yeah? So think about it. yeah, you can go out and buy some potatoes or rice or pasta, this, and you have to learn to cook, which most people don't cook now.
So, yeah.
Yeah, don't cook. And you want to eat healthily, it can be quite expensive.
And I think also time consuming, Andrew. I think if you look at people's lifestyles now,
it's
very demanding.
Well.
So therefore, the convenience of having
all those factors.
You know what I mean?
Because you're low income, so that's right. 2 jobs.
That's it. That's right. Yeah.
And if they have kids,
that's it.
It's cheaper for them to eat sort of food from maybe Iceland, stuff at £1, £2, whatever it is, and you've got 2-3 kids to feed. And if there's a mum and dad or 2 carers or 2 parents, then again that's an extra mouth to feed in the household.
That's it.
My point is it's expensive.
Yeah, no about
and
that.
So cheap food becomes the order of the day. And cheap foods have lots of saturated fats and all these other different things that make it unhealthy. Yeah. And there are lots of other fast foods, which we won't name, that are proven to be unhealthy for you. Very unhealthy. But people flock to it because it's cheap. So this is the why obesity creeps up.
Yeah.
One of the factors.
Yeah.
Because yes, taking responsibility for your health is one thing, but also on low income. So put it all together. Somebody is not feeling great about life. Things haven't worked out the way they thought it would. They may have slightly lower self-esteem. They've been in out jobs in the last 5-6 years because of COVID and wherever it is, and previously in out jobs. In a job now they're not happy with, just about paying the bills, just about surviving. So then they're eating.
That's right.
Having to do maybe 2 jobs, couple of kids. So they have to eat things that maybe they may not want to, but they have to because that's the only way to survive and to keep full. Wanting that full feeling. Now that plays up with their health. So they have they get a health issue.
Yeah.
All right. And that adds fuel to the fire. And it makes them feel even worse than what they are. And it's going to affect if you're a functional age, it's going to how you look, body image. You may not feel great about yourself. Secondly, some people may even lose their libido. That's a huge factor in it. And there are so many things that pile onto it. I think people don't consider that move people down that slippery slope.
And you know what? It's funny actually because I was talking to someone and the crazy thing is I was talking to someone in the gym that goes to the gym, family man, and has 2 younger children, and we were having this conversation about about healthy eating and such, and he told me that his children, 7 days a week, have takeaways, and I was just astounded. Like 7 days a week, they have takeaway fast food, and it kind of touches onto the point that you're making, I suppose, but also something else that we talk about these habits that have been formed, and as adults, as parents, we pass those habits down to our children, and they become normalized. And you can understand the rise in the obesity rate because actually those habits.
The parents don't cook; they add takeaways. They give it to their children. They add takeaways. The spiral continues on.
Definitely.
And depending what type of takeaways they're having, it's certainly not great for you.
No, it wasn't great for you, actually.
and it's not good. I mean, cooking is a skill, a value skill, and I've been cooking for years myself. For years, and so I can put a healthy meal together and eat. I don't need to rely on anyone else to do anything for me. But cooking is I think it's an essential skill. For both men and women to learn. And now you hear, it's really quite funny because almost you hear that sometimes, even some women, it's like, oh, I don't cook, I don't do that. It's almost like a
badge of
badge of honor. No, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't iron, as if it's something great. And these are essential skills to keeping your bills low and keeping healthy.
Yeah.
And men and women should do.
Definitely they should do, without a doubt.
And end the story.
Yeah. Part of independence and just to
kind of independence, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, ironing your clothes and doing stuff like that. I don't do it, but certainly I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I hire my staff and do that. I'm in complete independence.
No, that's...
And being able to cook is an essential skill.
No. And you know what? It kind of takes me back in essence, because I think about, obviously, I said earlier on about being brought up essentially, and I think about in terms of my mum, who obviously was, main cooker in the house, quite a traditional household. And it's funny, when I think about the food that was put in front of me, it was standard. I had to eat that. That was it. There was no negotiation about, oh, well, I don't like that or I don't like this.
Well, she cooked.
You know,
was that a takeout?
Listen,
cooked.
And also, I know households, some people are cooking like 2 meals to cater for different tastes in the house.
Some not even cooking. Sometimes it's a
microwave meal, bing!
Oven thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean, cooking seems to be almost outdated now.
Yeah.
And a thing of the past.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of shunned upon.
Yeah,
in that.
And when it's a valuable skill, you see. And going back to, could be sort of veered off slightly.
Yeah.
Go back to Ozempic and Mounjaro. Now, I was looking at this and thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to be a save for a lot of people. And remember, you were telling me about somebody whose parent has become ill, and at risk of cancer, or had cancer.
Risk of cancer.
Risk of cancer, high risk of cancer.
That's right, because in their family, grandmother had cancer.
So they were told that they have to
lose weight.
Yeah. And so this drug is something that their children are pushing her to take.
Yeah. In fact, so much so, to tell you what happened, the son was anti it initially.
Yeah.
And the mother was like, look, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, because she hadn't had the thing to go and lose weight, essentially. She obviously then took the steps, and then the son kind of, he was almost like, okay, you know what, actually, no, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. He did a bit of research himself, and thought it was a good thing. So she lost weight, and actually gave her the momentum, I would say. And I think, in my view, I would agree with you that I do believe that there are cases that perhaps some people need the momentum just to kind of get them kick-started.
Yeah, but I think it's even more than that, because it's about routine, and we are ritualistic.
Oh yeah, we are beings. Yeah,
and if it's not part of your ritual or had been, then it's going to be really hard.
Yeah,
think about this. If exercise, even from a young child, running up and down, doing stuff, intermittent in your life, has been part of your ritual habit, like playing football or sport or walking, whatever it might be, tennis, whatever. And you've done that for 3-4 years and stopped, done it for another couple of years and stopped, done it for 4 or 5 years and stopped, then you can get back into that routine. But if exercise or things like that haven't been part of your ritualized behavior from even when you're young kid, you see people in gyms who are in there who look completely alien.
They look lost.
Foreign.
They look lost. They're like in a different country, different land, different language, different everything.
And it's so hard for them.
No. It's they're looking around
to
like,
get into that ritual. And they go for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they stop because they can't, they don't have the discipline for consistency. Yeah. And sometimes there's some people think, oh, I've tried gym, didn't like it. So then they try a sport and they don't maintain it. Because the coordination, they don't have the coordination. So they don't keep that. And then they just fall back in the wayside. And those people, again, at risk of becoming obese.
You know what? I mean, I always think, actually, from a person, I think that there is something for everybody out there. And I think that, I know that I've spoken to people and they're like, oh, I can't do the gym, or I can't do this. And like, for example, my mum, she goes dancing, right? And that, it's a great way of losing weight, but kind of you get a good kind of aerobic exercise kind of going on there, having fun, and if you can have fun in the things that you love doing, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
So I think those things. So I think there is something for everybody.
There is something for everybody to find, but people have to be motivated to find it and to get out there and do it consistently. But anything that's going to keep you moving, because we're beings that are created to move.
Yeah.
For mobility,
Yeah.
And when you just sit down, it's not good for you just to sit down.
But I think our culture has become very sedentary culture now. I think that everything is very much in front of us. We have tablets. We don't have to get up. We have the remote control. So even just silly bits like that, you know what I mean? We don't have to be active.
Think about it. There's a time where if you want to turn the TV on, you have to get up and switch it over, and go and switch it over. Now we just like click. You don't have to do anything. So everything has changed drastically now.
Oh, definitely.
But I think going back to the medication bits again, that you look at it and you see that these medications, they have their downsides.
Oh,
and
some massive concerns.
There's I was looking at some of the actual side effects.
Side effects, I know.
Pancreatitis.
Yes.
Inflammation of the pancreas.
Yeah.
And apparently, if it's not treated and left, the pancreas can dissolve or ingest itself. What? I mean, that's great. And you die.
It's funny you say that, because when I was speaking to the guy in the gym, actually.
Oh, let me just finish the point.
Sorry. Yeah, come there, go on.
But then there's, vomiting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All these vomiting and headaches and other
diarrhea.
Yeah. So the crazy side effects.
I know.
I mean, I heard one story on a radio phoning program, a popular radio phoning program, where a guy had taken it, and within the first week, he had a chronic pancreatitis case.
Ooh,
chronic.
First
he had
week?
to be hospitalized.
Oh my days.
I think the first week or first month. Wow. A very short space of time. But he was, I think, around 20 stone. 20 odd stone.
Wow.
But he was 6 foot. But my point is it can have these sorts of side effects. Now, if people are taking this, or, I mean, the thing is as well, with all the side effects, I remember sort of looking at social media and seeing Hollywood stars on Ozempic.
Yep.
On Ozempic. And allegedly, it's not even for weight loss. It's for diabetes.
I know,
but the side effect is that you lose weight real quickly. So there are many people that went on Ozempic and lost weight really quickly. But looked terrible as a result.
Well, it's funny you say that. I was looking at something for Sharon Osbourne.
Yes,
and
she took it.
And I was
I know.
Did you see her? I was
wow.
So it messes with your metabolic rate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So she's saying that actually now she wants to put weight on, but she can't even do it. It's not even in the game. And I'm thinking
somehow it's messed up her metabolism.
Yeah.
The thyroids and all sorts. Yeah. So one has to be very careful. And I think if people are doing this, they need to do some clinical help. Because you can see some people who, and I'm going to make this clear again, very clear again. We're not talking about people who have been diagnosed as clinically obese, have significant health problems, or at serious risk of developing it, and are working with their doctors and doing the whole thing. Not to those people. Those people are doing what they're supposed to be doing with clinical help and guidance and support. Right? We're talking about people who are just eating too much. Just eating and lack the self-discipline to stop eating. Yeah? Don't want to do any exercise. Looking for that quick fix, and probably won't go and get medical guidance or clinical guidance in it. And it will just say, oh, I'm going to order it online and just start taking it. it's going
Yeah.
to be a problem.
I see. So I see that cohort, but I also see another cohort of people that. So, for example, I read somewhere that a woman that had just had a baby had baby weight, as to speak,
That's
and
the same thing.
uh,
It's the same thing.
yeah,
Same thing.
just
It's the same thing.
and I just think that the quick fix to just
That's right. Is a people that want a quick fix. Look, excuse me. People will. There are some people that are prone to gaining weight because they have a slow metabolism. Yeah. But people like that need to do some form of exercise. Walk a bit more. Watch what they eat. It's just life.
Yeah.
But people like that don't want to take any accountability. So therefore, they eat all the ice creams. They'll eat all the carbs. Love sugary drinks.
There's no breaks.
No breaks, and don't exercise. And they go, I don't eat much. I just need to find a way on.
And they're looking at you like, how do you do it?
Yeah. And it's, well, hold on. Just change your diet. Yeah. Walk a little bit. Go and find something, an activity that you like to do, and start doing that. But manage yourself in a better way. Now, if you go back like 30 years ago, or even longer, there were less obese people, less people who were fat.
Yeah, seriously, I looked around, right? And I could remember that. I was like, I used to think.
In actual fact, they say even to say now fat is even wrong.
Oh, is it the wrong?
I don't even know what it is you can say.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know.
Is it overweight? I don't know.
Overweight. Well overweight. Clinically well overweight.
And you know what I thought about that when you said about in terms of back in the day, and I think there's only one or two people I can actually remember in school
when you're growing
when
up.
I was growing up. And I think myself, there wasn't many. And I thought about the lifestyle, but kind of like, I said to you before, from my house to my school was 2.1 miles. I did it the other day and I was like, wow, because that's a trek. But that was just what it was.
You just walked.
You know what I mean? And you know what? There wasn't counting steps. Oh, let me get my steps into day and see. That's just what it was.
Did it. Yeah,
you know what I mean? 4 miles round trip.
I remember this as well. Where we used to live in London, and we back in the day we used to go out, and there's a time where I'm sure a lot of people were sort of older. Remember this? A lot of people didn't drive growing up. They didn't drive. Yeah, they didn't drive. They didn't have a car yet, right? But we used to go out to club, whatever it is. Now, because you meet up with your brethren, there's 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. And you all can't get into a cab. And you can't bother to take the bus. So you walk. I just remember walking. We used to walk about 4 miles to the club.
Wow.
And sometimes 4 miles back. 4 miles to the club, getting there, dance all night.
Yeah.
And then sometimes in leaving, you might share a cab.
Yeah.
You get a cab back because you're tired, your feet are aching. Because remember, you get there like 11 o'clock and you're leaving 5 in the morning. But those things, and then remember back in the day, guys, you weren't just sitting at home. You'd be walking up and down. Go to a youth centre. You just walk up on the streets. Just walking.
Definitely.
Just walking. And then every time, let's go and play football. Coats down the other side, play a game of football. And you're doing stuff.
Active. No.
So being active, even if you weren't doing anything, you were still active and walking. So therefore, none of my friends were obese or overweight. None of us.
And
none of us.
And you know what? I remember also the funny thing, I thought about it. And I remember having to do cross country. And I remember it was like torrential rain out there, but that's what we just had to do.
Yeah.
We had to do it. There was no, I got a letter from my mum that tells me that I can think, what? That didn't exist.
You just had to do it. So I think a large part of it starts from when people are young.
Definitely. Those habits. Definitely. I think they're definitely key.
And also I think, again, it's lifestyle. But beyond that, it's the situation that we're in now. It's about this quick food, quick takeaways, this throwaway culture where, if it's broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
get a new one. And I think everybody's into that mode right now. You see, no one really wants to say, "Well, oh, look, you know what? I feel the weight coming on. Let me just go down and go to the gym, wherever it is." I mean, unfortunately, again, a lot of guys who are 50 plus, the guys 50 plus, although you just see them online going out there doing stuff, but generally speaking, the guys plus are not being active. Are inactive. 50 plus, 55, just sitting there. A lot of women 50 plus, again, not doing anything. Yeah, not doing anything. So that's the time they need to be doing
this stuff. No, definitely.
But however, again, a lot of people in their most active years still not doing anything. And obese and not just eating too much, drinking too much as well.
You know, I think, I mean, a lot of it, we spoke a minute ago, is to do with the mindset, and actually those habits that aren't cultivated early. I mean, they're much more harder as you get older to cultivate them, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But I think you have to look at kind of the investment and the importance of cultivating those habits and where those habits will take you. I mean, the funny thing is, the extreme of that is that there are people I see in the gym that are of my age, and those people that have kept active, they're a beacon for the younger generation that come in the gym when I see that personally.
Yeah.
Because those guys, people are like, how old are you? What? And they're looking at you like you're some god, you know what I mean? Because they don't have those kind of those habits.
Yes.
And those kind of characteristics that kind of pull them through to work harder at that point, you know?
That's right, exactly. And that's a real problem. I just wanted to talk about I think there's some what these drugs do, how they work. Excuse me. And these drugs, what they do is suppress people's hunger. And my concern is this, right? This is my concern. People accessing these drugs, if they have no accountability, and even I think even again for people who have clinical issues, people who have clinical issues, who have diabetes, maybe, you know, who are at risk of cancer or do have cancer, whatever it is, if they weren't eating healthily before and didn't take responsibility for what they were doing, how are they suddenly going to do that as part of a ritualized behavior? Because it takes a lot of discipline.
That's right.
It takes a hell of a lot of discipline. And if you never had it before,
no.
My point is, if you've got 100 people who need to do that, how many of them will maintain that discipline? So this is the downside of the medication to some extent, right? It suppresses your hunger. So therefore, you can get up to 15-20% weight loss. You know, quite quickly.
Quite quickly, yeah. Without doing kind of, yeah.
Now, the whole thing is this: you get that weight loss, you experience that weight loss, and I think it takes about 6 weeks to kick in. See something, and then another 6 weeks again. So it takes time. I think it takes about maybe 4 to 6 months to really see dramatic weight change. I think that maybe quicker than the person. But this is my problem. My problem is this: when they stop taking the drugs, because at some point they're going to have to stop taking it. Can't keep taking it. Yeah? What happens? There is going to be propensity to slip back into the bad lifestyle. And then the weight gain is just going to be
colossal. Can you imagine that?
Yes. Back again. So they're going to be yo-yoing into this thing, and then their pancreas having to deal with this drug, which is not very good for it. You see, there are going to be some problems down the road if the person doesn't maintain a certain degree of discipline. Because you can see that there's going to be problems. Because this isn't just about popping a pill, getting an injection. This isn't just about, this is about a whole lifestyle change. And I'm sure people will be counseled by it. But just talk is talk. But it's a way. And what sort of support
is going to be given, to be put in place?
Because look, when it comes to lifestyle change or whatever, you can have somebody there counseling you sitting there who'll say, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. But you need a physical coach.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So that NHS aren't going to provide that.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because I was wondering how intense that would be, because when you think about, I've gone to counsellors or coaching and stuff like that before, and when I think about say life challenges, and you've gone and you've used those kind of professionals to kind of help assist you. That's not just an overnight job. That takes time.
It takes time,
and also investment from yourself.
Yes,
to look at that, to be reflective.
So it makes you think.
Yeah,
about the time it takes. I mean, for example, look, let's say somebody is 5'8", and they are, let's say, 18 stone. Now that is obese.
Yeah.
Right? 18 stone, 5'8". That's obese. Now, they've never been one for exercise or doing anything, and do like the wrong types of foods. Therefore told by a doctor they should refrain from taking this, eating this and that, because at risk of this, that, had a recent cancer scare, all the rest of it. So then they think, I've got to change my lifestyle. Their brains kick-started into doing it. So they do it. They take the drugs.
Yeah.
The weight's piling off. They feel great. But it's maintaining that. That's the maintenance, because it's a ritualized behavior.
That's right. It's almost like that's the easy part. Now
the work starts.
That's right.
So how many people will think, well, okay, I'm going to keep doing my walking, I'm going to keep exercising, I'm going to take on a coach. That'll support my diet, support my exercise regime, and so on. And that coach needs to be there at least 3 months. At least 3 months after.
Yep, that's right.
To get them with that ritualized behavior to keep going. But how many people do that? How many people do that? And that won't be available on the NHS.
Of course it won't be.
Yeah. And that's what will be needed to get them into that routine, to keep them maintained. And they have to keep doing that. It won't. I can't see that happening. What I can see for a lot of people is taking it, losing the weight, being good for a little while, and then, miss ice cream.
Yo.
Or we're having a party, there's chocolate eclair. Wintertime. Wintertime is a time where the body craves the carbs, craves the sugar and so on to keep warm. So when the summertime is easy to lose weight because in the winter, and that comfort food, that mashed potato, that gravy, that, all the rest of it, all those and it's like, eat it again. And once they slip down that path, is a slippery slope down. And then the weight just goes
back up again,
This is the thing. And they go, it doesn't matter. I'll just take
that's it.
Manjaro,
that's right. And it'd be done.
And maybe they just won't do it this time, but I'm just going to pay for it. So they go on. They have to go through the whole process. I think they still have to be assessed if they go private to a degree.
But I think there's ways around that, though.
No, they have to be assessed.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some questions and whatever.
Yeah, anyway, you have it online. You have it online. You can have it online application.
Yeah.
So you can easily get around that.
Yeah, and they'll get it. And when they they'll lose it again.
That's it.
Yeah.
Easy come, easy go.
In the summer, to look great in the summer.
Yes,
putting weight in the winter.
That's it,
In the summer, to be yo-yoing.
It's it, yeah.
But then
the impact on your body.
One day they'll have blood checks.
Yep.
and it won't look good for their pancreas or various other parts. And then they'll say, sorry, we can't prescribe you. So you can see there's, and I think for some, not for all, as we said beforehand, for some people where it's more lifestyle, they can't take the accountability, they can't, just stop eating the wrong foods. Those people are at serious risk of causing additional problems. And I think for those people like that, they need to, their mindset needs to be changed. I think it's more about having access to nutritionists and a health coach.
Yeah.
No, nutritionists.
Nutritionists, yeah.
Not dietitian, no, nutritionists. Because nutritionists will be able to look at you personally, take some samples from you about what your body needs, what you have too much of. I think for some people, they need to have like a blood check. Take their bloods, boom, right, you've got too much of this, too much of that, you're not enough of this, not enough of that, and then create a diet that works for them, coupled with exercise, and a coach say, right, okay, fine, we're going to do the walking now, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
That's what there's a cohort of people that need that. People you mentioned beforehand, maybe just had a baby, and then they still got the baby fat, as it were, they need that, period. People that just like to eat too much, they need that. People that just lack activity, that's what they need. The people, again, that have a significant organic issues and the psychological processes with that, then they need the support. They need support in relation to that physical aspect of it and the drug, whatever, which they get the clinical support to degree. But I think just having a GP that you pop in now and again to do the bloods isn't enough.
No,
I don't think it's enough.
And also, not being funny, I think I did look at some of the government in terms of what they were considering and were talking about GPs kind of prescribing these drugs, and I'm thinking to myself, what GPs? I mean, not being funny, it takes me about 3-4 weeks to get an appointment because of the demand for GP appointments, because of the demand, So I'm thinking to myself, really, the reality of what they're saying and what's really going to be taking place is far different, really.
Exactly. Trying to, get these people, assess them
and the services and stuff,
and get the drug in place. And a lot of people go private if they can afford it.
Of course they will.
If they can afford it, because it's £100, £200 a month. That's a big bill.
Of course it is. Where we are at the moment, of course.
It's a big bill.
Yeah.
But then some people will probably take a loan out.
Well, so it's funny you say that, because I was thinking about so how it could affect kind of a relationship. So, for example, I was thinking, so imagine you've got two people that were together, say mid-30s, say, for example, been together, childhood sweethearts, been together since college, have 2 children, both obese, in that kind of heavier way as such, and the woman's not really happy with how she looks. She always feels like, she could do better and wants to kind of change things as such. The guy, he's a bit more content and a bit laid back, and so, it's not a problem. So they think about, okay, listen, let's take out some money, because obviously it's a postcode lottery in terms of trying to get it on the NHS. So they take out some money to go private. They go private so that she can get this weight loss done. She gets the weight loss treatment, and for long she's obviously losing weight, and she's starting to feel more confident, in terms of going to work. Colleagues are talking to her now that hadn't talked to her before, and
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And you can see then potentially what happens is that she feels more confident.
But then there's risks compared to that, which we talked about already. Which is side effects from this.
Oh, yes, no.
So there are going to be a number of people that will have not so great side effects.
Oh, definitely.
And the thing about it is, as well, as we pointed out beforehand, is that there is a degree of self-discipline and a regime that one has to incorporate. And though that regime, the regime we talked about was exercise and maintaining exercise and so on, nutrition, whatever. and some people won't go that
That
far.
far.
Won't go that far. So it's going to be a yo-yo.
Yeah. Well, so the point I was making actually, Frev, that that she continues to lose weight. Her
Yeah.
husband is quite settled in terms of where he is, but at the point, her diary is getting full, social diary is getting full. She's going out and
Yeah,
feeling
but again, it's short-lived.
yeah, but anyway, it's going to be short-lived.
It's short-lived because it just goes back to the point. If someone does not install a regime, yeah, it's not like you pop a tablet. Oh, I'm thin now. I'm beautiful. No, they're going to lose weight.
Yeah,
that's a fact. But if you don't install a regime, and that regime becomes part of your lifestyle habit, you're just going to put the weight back on again. You're just going to. How many people, right, have you heard of, known of in life, mainly women, that have had a diet going on at one point in their life or not? How many? How many? Tons. And yes, of course, guys got on diet too, but mainly women. And for some, you can say, oh, it's worked. But you may not see them a year later. And what happens? The weight is all back on again. But you daren't say a thing. You won't say a word. They lose the weight, you go, oh, you lost some weight. That's great. It's great. And then a year later, it's back on. Back on.
I think yes. I think you will definitely
People
see
lack the discipline. That's what it boils down to in the first place.
Yeah.
They lack discipline to maintain it. So look, problem is this: some people find that's why diets don't work. Yeah, diets generally don't work because it's about it's about your lifestyle. Some people I've seen overweight, and then they've slimmed down. I think, wow, that's great. Wow, you look great, and they feel great.
Yeah.
Right? And they've gone on this diet. You don't see them for a couple of years, 2-3 years. See them again, and they're back again. You think, oh, hi, how you doing? Whatever you think. You put all the weight back on again, but you won't say anything.
Yes, that's right. It's the elephant in the head, but you don't.
You won't say a word. You go, oh, great, how you doing? Whatever it is, you won't say a word, and they go, oh yeah, I've put on a bit of weight. And this yo-yo thing going, and all these things are going to do for some is create a yo-yo, because all it is like, in a tablet form. So rather than having to do it over the course of a whole year, 18 months to lose the weight, we get it done within 4 or 6 months or less, and you lose all that weight, but then you put it back again. See, because it has to be part of a regime. And I think that, and again, this is the other side. Unless you have a high metabolism, and some people have a high metabolism, so even if they get older, they don't put weight on. Some people get 50 plus, and they, wow, you're so skinny because they've got a high metabolism, and they will never really put weight on. But for most of us, when you get 50 plus,
it starts to slow down.
You slow down, and you will put weight. Even if you didn't put weight on easily before, you go, oh God, you know what?
The total
so that's where you have to incorporate a regime that will help you to keep the weight off. You have to be careful when you get to a certain age. You have to think, I had a bit of that, so I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to ease up with that. To eat less. And the thing as well, the older you get, it's true you eat less. You do eat less. You don't need to eat as much because your metabolism slows down.
That's right,
But you will put weight on a lot quicker. So you have to incorporate exercise. You have to incorporate exercise in there just to keep relatively okay. And that's the key. So I think that, it's lifestyle, it's the world we live in at the minute. And fast foods, cheap foods that are readily available. I think the government are going to now talking about taxing companies that make unhealthy food.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're finally considering that. The horse is already bolted.
Just more coffers for them, isn't it? It's like,
the horse left the stable years ago, and they just decided to bolt it now. Too late.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Too late. The technology now for food manufacturing has surpassed government understanding, because they can create foods now that lead you to wanting more of it.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
the technology.
And you've got technology of food now that allegedly is healthier for you, but it's not.
Wow.
It's not. That's what's available out there right now in all these pre-packaged foods, whatever it is. The best way, and I call it damage imitation. Yeah, because even if we buy foods normally now, then they're sort of genetically modified.
I know, it's not guaranteed, is there?
Pesticides, this, whatever it is. So the way I look at it is damage imitation. Try and buy as fresh as you can. Now, if you do have disposable income, try and buy a mix of, organic if you can, whatever. If you can't, just do what you can. But try and cook more than you do the takeouts.
Definitely.
Period. Try and cook more. If you eat a lot of meat, have 2-3 days, there's no meat day. Incorporate fish in your diet. Just try and cook more. To do the best you can.
But I think, add to that, I think it's an over. It's basically an awareness of your situation, your circumstance, and have a clear idea about actually, okay, this is what I want to achieve. How do I go about doing that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
put those things into place.
So that's what I'd recommend. I think that anyone that's going to take it, there's a number of things I think we can conclude to say.
Yeah.
One, I think they need to have a clear plan about when they're taking it, how to check that their pancreas is okay, and there are other issues going on, and how regularly they'll check that. Number one. Number two, if they get it, they need to know what they're going to do when they've lost the weight.
That's right.
And it's worthwhile factoring in a physical coach.
Yes, that's right.
That knows about diet as well. Yeah, that's getting that. And I think that if you are obese and you're really serious about your health, it's worth, when you've finished getting your bloods checked, to see what you're deficient in.
Yeah.
See what you got too much of.
Yeah, it's like a
and create a diet that's going to aid and assist you. And also getting a coach that is knowledgeable. Yeah. That's going to help train you, whether it's in a gym or at home, wherever.
And also train your mind, make you accountable
for those choices.
That's the whole thing. That's what a coach does. Yeah.
So, so the whole thing is that sometimes people don't like the gym. So forget about the gym. A coach, applying a coach, coming to your house and saying, okay, fine, now we're going to go to the park, or we're going to go do this walk, or you can do a set of exercises that you're going to do. Because the exercises aren't much. It's just literally going to be like 30 minutes a day, 25 minutes a day of exercise. Yeah. That's going to maintain.
That's right.
Going to maintain. So I think those things are important. And I'm a coach that's going to work with somebody over a 3-month period to get them into that routine. And then I think it's going to be worth it then. But if you don't have that coach, there's going to be a high probability. Yeah. Think about it this way. If someone sets up themselves to lose weight, over the summer period, it's great, because in the summer you eat a little less.
Yes.
It's the winter that you need to think about, so you don't get into that spiral of that revolving door syndrome. I think that's the most important thing. I think key takeaway you should have if you're considering that.
Not literally though.
Yeah. I certainly think so. But yeah, I mean, guys, I think that this is it's a good thing for some people, and yes, it's helped a lot of people. And we know a lot of people have sworn by taking these drugs, and it literally saved their lives.
Yeah.
That we're not arguing.
Mm.
We're not arguing. We're just arguing the point of some people who will take it because they just can't control what they're eating, and they'll go for revolving door syndrome. And the concerns are is effects to their body, the side effects and so on potentially. And you don't want to get the revolving door syndrome where you're putting weight on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, and using these drugs to do so. So important to, if you use it once, trying to go back on it again and maintain a healthy lifestyle, a healthier lifestyle at least. Yeah, that's the key element to it. But I think on that note, we're going to end on that note, I think. And yeah, hopefully you found it useful. That's our little take on it. And we'll be seeing you again very soon. So please like, share, and subscribe. And you may agree with what we're saying or have things to add, some interesting stories that will help people. Please put in the comments and we'll catch you very soon. So you take care. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.